Guys, want to go ahead and say hi to YouTube? Hi, YouTube. Hola, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Goedemorgen, wherever you guys are in this world. Guys, we're going to get started with Heavenly Delusion. In case you guys don't know who I am, hi, my name is Ed. I'm a psychologist. I tend to go ahead and psychoanalyze anime, video games, and everything in between. The purpose of this channel is to go ahead and break down the characters. There's a fuck ton of pausing. I am not going to lie to you. Like, we will literally probably pause throughout the entire thing. This was voted on by everyone here on chat. Thanks so much for the follow, Diego. Everyone in chat in here that you see scrolling by voted for Heavenly Delusion to be watched today. It was up to them. This is how we do it on Twitch. They get to vote on a show. We watch on it. We watch it and then we proceed. Again, the main purpose of the channel is to psychoanalyze, break down characters' minds, philosophy, psychology specifically, and then throw out those elements out there. All of these videos are unmonetized. If you guys want to come and check us out, come join us on Discord or come join us here on Twitch. And if you guys like that video, hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. I always have to say it. If you guys are here, what's up, Diego? If you guys are here on Twitch and lurking, follow, dude. It costs nothing, absolutely nothing. And if you guys have that Prime sub, if you guys like the content, let me know. Share that Prime sub with me. It would mean the absolute world. Or sub, or even the donations, especially since I gotta pay the repairman for my new PC. That would help a ton, guys. I appreciate you all a ton. And with that being said, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. All I know is people have been telling me it's fucking good. Let me make sure that you guys can hear it. All I've been told is that this is a really good show and that I would probably lose my shit for a little bit. So let's find out. You know what I like about this? I like that it's sort of like the first image that we see, it's a fruit, right? Sort of like a garden. Um and if we're gonna be symbolic, every show and every anime starts off, right? Like every frame of animation that you see, it's purposely placed there, right? And going through this, one of the first things that immediately pops up is sort of this garden. And I wonder if this is sort of like a reflection in of itself of like, first off, tomatoes, right? Or apples or anything like that, which is like it's fruit. And if we're going through that, like one of the big aspects that I'm like immediately torn by is this an environment, right? A natural garden, botanas, because I did see the children running out, where kids are being brought up in this garden, sort of like a Garden of Eden or any situation like this. Also, tomatoes and other aspects like that being some of like, what was it? I know apples are like the fruit of knowledge. So then what are tomatoes? Tomatoes are great. I love tomatoes. Don't even get me wrong, man, but I'm so fucking interested to see where this is gonna go. Yes. Yes, tomatoes.
Mimi 姫、何をぼやっとしてるの？授業始まるよ。
うん。今日はテストがあるよ。
今日は普通に授業だろ？
でもあるよ。
テストをします。
聞いてないよ。
先生、勉強してないから無理です。
君は勉強しても無理だけどね。
は？
はい、静かに。普段の授業を受けていればできます。
This is terrifying me. I'm watching this show and I'm fucking terrified. So I understand. Don't get me wrong. There are schools, there are environments like this where uniformity is a part of like the school code, school lockdown, school whatever, right? Like in that aspect. But let's take a quick look at what this minute in of itself has showcased, right? We have a mixture of technology mixed in with sort of like the normality that is life. We have an aspect where these are all kids. Where we're not seeing any fucking adults. And this is what this is for me is red flag. We have quite literally like in like an aspect of this is technology, but yet we're still grounded by the like fruit that we eat, right? We are kids that must all look very, I guess, androgynously we're very like, like uniformed in that sense of manner, where i.e. it doesn't seem like there's a lot of sexualization or sexual aspects in their clothes that allow them to conform to whatever they see themselves as, right? Guy, girl, whatever. By the way, sexualization does not mean like, oh yeah, you're sexualizing someone, but quite literally in terms of how do you fit the clothes that you wear. Why do you wear a certain way thing, right? Because it's all a part of like human nature and what we wear. For example, why do I wear this shirt? Why is it unbuttoned? Why do we even like put on the shoes that we throw on, so on and so forth? Looking at an aspect like this, it makes me wonder: are these kids in an experiment? Is this an experimenting ground or a sterile ground where essentially these kids are under intense observation? Because this is reminding me a lot of like the inpatient facilities, um, like the really really upscale inpatient facilities that they have for individuals that like are going through a rough time, right? And no, not the grippy socks hospitals. I mean like an actual inpatient facility where people are allowed to go and roam around and have a life and so on and so forth. Even some private schools where quite literally you have an environment similar, where i.e. there's technology being introduced and so on and so forth. But can you stop instances of intercommunication like this in Japanese medias? If kids are in a weird, but it's never really only an experiment. Mm. It's direct, yeah. Distract us with Riz, but no. I'm looking at this and like, just let's take a second to observe this minute.
ありがとう。ありがとう。
What bonds are being created through this? How do these bonds evolve and grow? Who are their caretakers? Is it one caretaker, or are they threatened by outside caretakers? So many questions. And then through the moment, we saw the guy sketching a lot of. Okay, let's. We'll take a step. We'll take a step. What does it mean for art to be there? We are in a sterile environment, right? I'm gonna be real with you guys. What does art mean in a world like this? In a world that we're being introduced to in this 1 minute that looks very sterile, it's very everything. What does art do? Art is very healing. And when it comes to like mental health aspects, being able to go and introspect, so on and so forth. If you're an adult and you haven't done art in a long time, I suggest trying it out. Whether it's playing with your toys, not like that cochinos, I mean like your actual toys, or like painting or anything like that. Try it out and see what that does for you. But when it comes to this in particular, what I like specifically what I'm referencing is they might express them. No, well, art, the imagination and aspects like this, if not reined in and if not limited in some cases, shapes or forms, especially for kiddos, what does it usually go for? Here, I'll show you guys, because I often deal like I do a lot of individual and group sessions, right? And oftentimes when left unchecked, this is what I often see. Oh, 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 oh. If you guys saw that, you saw that. But like you see crude drawings of sexualized images as to what they believe that is in of themselves, right? Whether if not themselves, their own observations, right? You draw what you observe or what you see. Engagement just went up 5,000%. I know, dude. But like quite literally, what you see is a big reflection through that, right? And like let's take this even further, right? Let's take an individual being in this environment, right? And we're gonna go bigger here and go through, right? Like if we're going through something like this, hold on, I'm making two, right? So if we're going through something like this, if we're using Bronfenbrenner's ecological theories, right? Hold on, is it gonna get the image? There we go. If we're using Bronfenbrenner's ecological theory and we put a person right in the middle, right, and expanding out into the microsystem and then the mesosystem, we start understanding like in this environment in of itself, what do we have, right? Go bigger, not like that, dude. Like we have an individual. In case you guys don't know, here I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up so you guys can see. I'm not just drawing booba. I know they may look like that, but they're not. I swear. Here they go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, what do we have in a scenario like this? In this 1 minute, what has this showcased us? This is, by the way, this is actually really, really good. Like phenomenal story setting. In 1 minute, they've been able to go ahead and showcase a lot. So what does that show us? Guys, I'm gonna be straight up with you. Individual here, we don't know much about their home. This might be their home, and this might be their family, right? This is the micro and meso system, right? This would immediately what we're seeing is that this might be their friends or family group, so on and so forth. This is probably their neighborhood. This is probably their home, and this is their school. So let's talk about that. What does that do? How much influence do you have over your environment? Can you break out of this? Where are you going? Okay, that's the microsystem. If you are a kid in here, what can you directly influence? Can you directly influence the home? Maybe like your little, I don't know, cubicle that you're in. Can you influence your family? Yeah, you can talk to your friends and your family that are there. Can you influence your school? I mean, that's a little hard, but I guess. Take it on the next one. It's so sterile like this. What does it mean to be in a scenario like this? Right now, we're only getting influences on this, which I'm guessing that there is going to be an outside force that's pressing in that's going to make all of these changes happen. And I even wonder how these kids identify. And that's one of the biggest things that's coming to my mind. Like, when you have kids in an environment like this, are they able to see who they are, right? Be a reason why your school had needed to make a new yeah, exactly. Like, do these kids identify as an individual or as a collective, or do these kids, even by themselves being in this environment, right, are they more like, oh, this environment is who we are rather than themselves? Anyway, hold on, we're back at it. We're back at it.
耳姫、何をぽやっとしてるの？授業始まるよ。
うん。今日はテストがあるよ。
今日は普通に授業だろ？
でもあるよ。
テストをします。
聞いてないよ。
先生、勉強してないから無理です。
That's your teacher.
君は勉強しても無理だけどね。
は？
はい、静かに。普段の授業を受けていればできます。全10問です。
I fear that this is sort of what the future may entail for us, right? Where artificial intelligence becomes some of the primal ways of teaching. It already has with ChatGPT and other aspects like that. Let's not downplay it, right? But like, where in a lot of individuals' jobs are being replaced, teachers and like aspects like that, um, through this. What is also giving me like, what is sending a red flag for me on this is, why have we not seen an adult in 1 minute and 4 seconds in? We have not seen anyone that looks like an adult. What is going on? In fact, my line of questioning now goes into, or do we not have human teachers in here because they might ruin whatever this is? Because they are a variable? Because they are unpure in that manner? Because you have to remember, what are kids, usually kids look like, or like symbolized as? The semblance of purity, the semblance of innocence. And what are adults? What are adults? Adults, I hate to put it this way, but we're often looked at as impure. We're often looked at as individuals who've already seen the darkness of the world. We're already looked at as individuals who are experienced, our experiences might shape their experiences, and so on and so forth. The more that we're going through this, the more that I'm starting to think this looks like a big fucked up psychological experiment. And the more scared that I am. Because there's been like back in the days of like the Milgram experiment, and like, a lot of the like hardcore power dynamic experiments that were being done. There were other studies that were proposed, and we're not even going to get into some of the studies that were conducted during the wars that were proposed for it, like literally like, oh, what is the optimal setting for, say, even educational aspects and stuff like that. The idea of purity in childhood being related to is insanely influential. Well, that's the main concept that I'm getting from this, and it's blowing my mind because I'm like, how is this going to be explored? And what does if say that they hired a psychologist? They say that they hired me, right? They're like, we're going to hire Papi Ed to be the psychologist here, and I come over here, right? And I'm like, I'm the only human staff or whatever, and say that I'm over here, and I'm like, well, why don't you express yourself? And like, oh, what do relationships mean to you, little Johnny? Little Johnny, have you been able to tell Susie how you feel? Have you been able to go ahead and like, what does that mean? And like all of a sudden, these experiences of like reaching out and connection, and even the aspects of finding yourself and finding whatever, start going out there. Would you consider that? Would you consider that a form of corruption? Be allowing these kids to be human? Would you allow that? Would you say that I am corrupting them? Like this ever be a therapist in your opinion? Mickey, crazily enough, I think in the future, yes. I think, and I know people are gonna look at me and be like, "What are you talking about?" There are studies being done at this point in time on mapping neural connectomes in the brain, neurotransmitters in the brain, and being able to go ahead and mimic thought patterns, reactions. We might even have, I'm going to throw this out there as a prediction from this episode on forward. You might even have AI emoji reactors coming soon. We might have people, I'm not even talking about VTubers, but literal like emoji reactors that are just artificially made, just going to a series over and over. We might have 101 other aspects being thrown out there because it's easy to facilitate, right? It's easy to go ahead and do, and it's being more and more accepted of. When we take this a step above and we look at the neuroconnectome work that is being done by University of Southern California or Southern Colorado, forget which one, we start to understand that by mapping the human brain, not only do we get to understand like artificial intelligence to this level where they can go ahead and like make, for example, imagine the best therapist psychologist in the world. You go in, there's a robot in front of you, it activates and it knows exactly the train pattern, the thought pattern that this psychologist does, and it's able to give you that same exact form of treatment. In the future, yeah, it might be. But anyway, sorry guys. I don't mean to like go fucking wild with it, but I'm just saying it feels like AI is getting smarter and is advancing more and more to the point of being more human, and us as humans are becoming more NPCs. We even have trends of people being like, "Oh, Dorito. Wow. Nom 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 nom. Ooh, wow, roses," like literal NPC conversations, and now AI is literally writing our papers for us. Just saying. Anyway,
なんでこの魚手が生えてるの？
さあ他の魚を捕まえるためかな。
こんなの見たの？
いや想像だよ。
変だね。
oh,
でも面白い絵だから園長先生に見せてあげようよ。そんで僕にちょうだい。
書き終わったらね。
残り15分です。
おいおい。
bro, you good? Whoa, wait up. Wait up. Oh, shit. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. In case you guys are wondering, what the fuck?
そんで僕にちょうだい。
書き終わった。おいおい。
Where are these teachers coming from? You want to take the red pill or the blue pill? No. I'm internally fucking screaming because you have to remember, we have right? Artificial technology or artificial intelligence or this robot giving us this test, right? And these guys are taking it on a tablet, electronic device, whatever. Which I'm not even gonna go put past this because this is how majority of kids are doing it nowadays. But let's go ahead and talk about this. His computer screen glitched, and he got a question that is not a math question. What does this mean? Either someone hacked into this and sent this question, or wherever the fuck this thing is centrally located, wherever they get all of this like information sheets or whatever, is corrupted. There's some fucked up shit happening here. There's some fucked up shit happening here. My brain's like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Because this is math. This is math. That like 2 plus 2 is 3, 4. Like, you know, and this is one of the main aspects through this. It's like it's not saying, oh yeah, you know, negative 0.6x minus 0.5 equals negative 3.5. Next question, why do you exist? Yes or no? Why do you exist? 3 and 4. Or maybe it's intentional, right? So this is why I'm throwing it out there, is like looking at an aspect like this. I'm fucking calling it, man. That's some sus shit. Yes, on a math test, you're gonna go and fucking place this, bruh. Tomsky, what's up? How you doing? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. We are watching Heavenly Delusion, and it is filled to the brim of expectations. But it does make me want to ask you guys, how many of you guys go through test anxiety? How many of you guys have gone through heightened stages of, like, you know, testing anxiety? I have it. I'll be honest. I'm really, really good at like talking about a subject, so on and so forth. The moment I have to go ahead and take a test, I'm like, fuck. Like, you know, it's quite a bit. Unless this is a written portion of the test, I don't know, man. I don't know. The outside. Are these the same
ぼやっとして
characters?
るの？授業始まるよ。
うん。今日はテストがある。
They couldn't be. No. No.
外の外。
I'll let it play out, but I'm like, what the fuck happened, bro?
ねえ、宝探ししようか。
I have to say, this is something I genuinely love about settings like this, is to see how nature is unforgiving. Nature, in the blink of an eye, takes back what is theirs. Like, looking at settings like this and looking at aspects like this is one of the big things that, like, for me as an individual and as anything, right? It's like, yeah, I know we are destroying the planet, man. And past that, it's like all the structures that we make are just being taken back. No, we're destroying our chance of survival. Yeah, we're destroying our only chance of survival, but like a couple key things come to my mind. Like, these kids are in such a sterile environment if this is the outside. Like, it's it's like when you protect your kids because you're afraid of what the outside world holds. Dude, thanks so much for the sub, man. Appreciate it, Mondo. You're amazing, dude. You're amazing. But like, It's like when overprotective parents protect their kids from seeing the outside world, and all of a sudden, like something bad happens, and they're like, "No, you're not supposed to see that." Like they get you in trouble for that, and it's sometimes you need to see the bad. This is a conversation topic that we're actually gonna. It might be triggering for some, and it might be a little out there for some others. Guys, I'm gonna be 100% honest. How do you grow as an individual? I'm looking at this, and this is sort of one of the big things that comes out of this. If I were to put everyone in a sterile environment, would you genuinely grow? Would you be growing, guys? Probably not. Yeah, you would be growing in age. Yeah, you might be making connections in that way. But if you never had to encounter any difficulties outside of the controlled environment, would you grow? Grows through pain. We grow through adversity. We grow through pain. We grow through aspects of, like, for example, say that I don't have a similar opinion as Masters or Nick Mayer, and they're telling me, hey, you know what, this is my opinion, you don't like it. We grow through aspects of learning, of seeing other people, of encountering opposite moments. We grow through not going into a tribalistic setting, whether that's an anime, whether that's in your own favorite little group, subculture, whatever, ReZero, Moshiko Tensei, Oshinoko, whatever that may be, because oftentimes we seclude ourselves into these little environments, these little tribalistic mindsets, that we forget that anime as a medium is about storytelling, you know? And it's about, like, the content and the context that it has. And if we start firing off at one another, okay, are you growing within that tribalistic mindset? Probably not. Because all of a sudden you're closed in, right? We have to be open to ideas that challenge us. You might like a show that's okay, but all of a sudden, if that becomes your only source of, like, defense, can be a little bit much. And we can take it further and apply it to every single thing in life. We grow through adversity. We grow through challenges. We grow through, quite literally, stepping outside of the sterile environment that has been placed before us and allowing ourselves to get hit, to be corrupted from time to time, to fall down, to maybe even have identity crises from time to time. Like, where are we going? What is our mission? What is our purpose? How are we going to evolve? How are we going to grow? What are we going to, yeah. It is okay to fail. It is okay to start dusting yourself and stand up. It is okay for a friend to help you get back up. Guys, it is okay to fucking fail. That is how we grow. We grow through a series of resilience. We don't grow through being stuck in an environment where we're sterile and we're listening to the same talking points over and over and over again. We grow through an environment that challenges us, that pushes us, that makes us a little bit anxious, that makes us understand ourselves a little bit better, right? You must have a good support network. You have to be open to talking about what's going on, and so on and so forth. This is why I'm throwing this out there, because this environment that, like, the kids were talking about, yeah, they might grow older in age, but for them, it's like, are they experiencing what the truth is outside of that? What the world is outside of that? Ooh. Okay, I have a little comment here. I always in my house, and my parents didn't let me go outside much because I was diagnosed. Today I'm 27. I can't ride a bike and don't have many memories of my childhood. I mean, D Monkey, I'm gonna even ask you this: have you, like, are you okay with not having a childhood? Because that doesn't sound like you had much of a childhood. And are you okay? Like, have you made peace with it or no? Are you struggling with that? Because that would be a struggle for me, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if I didn't have a childhood, that'd be something that would affect me. And so this is something that I'm throwing out there. I'm seeing this show touch on so many fucking little pieces, little, like, medias and aspects like this, and it's interesting. It is interesting because I'm wondering, like, first off, where's this show going to divert to, and second off, how masterfully it has allowed itself to present so many topics to discuss and talk about.
そうだね。この辺は破壊が少ないし、荒らされてなさそうな家見つけたらね。
じゃあもっと奥行こうよ。
鍵かかってる。そうだね。この辺は破壊が少ないし、荒らさ
宝探ししようか。
そうだね。この辺は破壊が少ない。
Just bear with me. 231. Just bear with me for a second.
何をぽやっとしてるの？授業始まるよ。
うん。今日はテストがあるよ。
今日は普通に授業だろ？
でもあるよ。
テストをし
231. Got it.
宝探ししようか。
そうだね。この辺
Her walking is very different.
は破壊が少ないし。
Even the way that they place their legs. Like, look. Granted, I know we're older, we take bigger steps. Don't get me wrong on that.
宝探ししようか。
そうだね。
Where's the sense of balance here? This is what I'm looking at, because every character, when we walk, we have a way of walking. For example, I walk in the same way that I've been taught. Like, I hate to put it this way, but marching band has been drilled into me since, middle school, high school, so that I walk heel to toe, right? So I walk like a duck, like this at times, right? Because like that's the way that like I was forced to walk for 4 years. A couple more if you consider college. But like that's the way that I was forced to walk, right? Is like when I'm walking, I walk like that. My question is, my center of balance stays, pretty centered. And for a lot of people, your center of balance stays pretty centered, right? Or just shifts along everything.
この
But
辺
look,
は破壊が少ないし。
sometimes I'm afraid of Ed, guys. I love these videos. Why are you afraid of me? But when I'm looking at this person,
ねえ、宝探ししようか。
そうだね。この辺は破壊が少ないし。
you can tell his frame is guam, 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 right? While we look at her center of balance and it shifts a little bit.
探ししようか。
Or their
そうだね。
their center of balance is like
この辺は破壊が
it's like all the weight is going into the legs.
少ないし。
In case you guys don't know, this also comes from a martial arts perspective. Hi, good day, Conception. Like whenever we're stepping, like in martial arts, we're very aware of like how much weight we're putting in, if we're centering, if we're grounding ourselves in a leg to receive a kick or do certain things, so forth, right? It's a thing that like you learn for self-defense. What I find interesting is like the way that they're walking, they're like bop, and then like bop, like grounding yourself like I don't know, like a kid learning how to walk, essentially. I don't know if it might not make any fucking sense, but what I'm saying is their walking is weird. Like that's all I gotta say. Not a bad way. I'm not criticizing the anime. I'm sure it has something to do with like might be that they were going uphill, whatever. But it's just something that stood out to me because of the way that her leg moves here.
宝探ししようか。
そうだね。
Like, look, are you a fast walker? Like,
こ
look,
の辺は
boom, leg makes a full transference, right? It's all this weight, which is true,
破壊が少ないし。
but it's like every step, instead of like just small whatever steps, is grounded, has weight to it, has so on and so forth. That's why I'm like, for this character, I wonder, are they grounded in the way that they walk? Like, are they grounded in themselves? Because a person that like, unless you're like actively in fight or flight mode, I would understand like, okay, maybe you have to go ahead and like ascertain your steps, make sure that you are grounded in the like, to take on any challenge that may appear. Or are you grounded in yourself? And this goes for both characters. Are they grounded in who they are as individuals? There's 101 other like micro expressions and even smaller expressional psychology aspects that you can look into. But that's why I'm like, with the heavy backpack. Yeah, Tom, because that's weight, right? When you have weight, you take steps like that. You walk like that. When we're looking at a character like this, though, I'm like, I don't see a lot of Well, it might be a heavy backpack. I'm about to get in a fighting stance. Yeah.
荒らされてなさそうな家見つけたらね。
じゃあもっと奥行こうよ。
鍵かかってる。有望。あら？マル？
どこ行った？マル
お姉ちゃん、ここから入れそう。
これだけガラスが残ってるってことは、やっぱ荒らされてないね。
Damn, dude.
結構傷んでるね。僕、傷んでるね。結構ことは、やっぱ荒らされてないね。
Interesting. Interesting. This person is taking charge. Not just scavengers. Let's look at the power dynamic that is being set here. They are literally taking in a power dynamic of being in charge. Usually, like, when it comes to like most post-apocalyptic settings, right? You usually have like the guy go in first, like, all clear, go in, like no zombies, whatever. Like, looking at a scenario like this, look, they're taking charge of this room, right? He's scouted out like where it was, but it's like,
やっぱ荒らされてないね。
look, first person to come through, right? First person, the other person's leaning a little bit behind, right? I walk bad too, so I would not think of that. Well, I'm paying attention to this. It's a post-apocalyptic setting, right? Immediately, a lot of people in post-apocalyptic settings, what do we fall back into? What is that? Yeah, we either fall back into experience, or mostly we fall back into roles that are pre-established in order for us to be able to go and at least maintain a sense of baseline, maintain that sense of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like the base psychological needs met. When I'm looking at this, though, I'm seeing that either she's really, really experienced and they've been out here for a long time, or right, in this the case, they are like taking on both the role and maybe the experience of being this leader, of taking these steps, of being in this role. That's where I'm like, she's awesome, dude.
結構傷んでるね。僕、奥の方見てくれ。お、歯ブラシゲット。
お姉ちゃん、開けてないトイレットペーパー。
ナイスナイス。僕トイレしたい。あらら。ああ、形だけでも便器があると気分が違うね。っておい、みんなよ。
ドア閉めないから。
あれば閉めるさ。
Yeah. It goes past that, right? What sense of boundaries do you have in the world like this? Let's be real. We're 3 minutes in and we're discussing a lot. Let's take it in, right? When a toilet is a luxury, what sense of boundaries do you have? Say that you're with a group of people. Realistically putting, I'm gonna get you guys in here, right? Let's think about it like this. You're with a group of people. You're traveling and the world is a muck. Is a complete whatever. Toilets are a luxury. What does that say? For me, this screams, heck, you're probably like squatting down in a corner doing like, doing what needs to be done, going to the restroom. Like, you're probably like, if you're in a group, you probably overhear one another doing the dirty things, right? Doing what like in terms of sexuality, doing the deed. You're probably like, it's a lot of steps that keep overcoming itself like this, which brings up I guess my main point. Ed, we can go to 2020 and what happened on those years. Yeah, I mean, really, in the pandemic in of itself, right? Especially during isolationist times, we can go and talk about that. Maslow's part. Okay, let's take a look at this. Right, hold on. You guys are bringing up a lot of interesting topics to go ahead and look at. Where are they? Where are they? In a realistic setting, where are they? They're down here. They're looking for water. They're looking for a homeostasis, a place for excretion, a place to sleep, so on and so forth. So what does that mean? None of the above, right? You can be working on aspects like this. You can't, just because you're down here doesn't mean you don't have aspects up here, right? It's in the physiological. When we're looking up above, though, what do we see? We see that they might have issues with the sense of security of body. They might be even like not being happy with who you are, right? Are you safe in yourself? Are you happy with yourself? Are you happy with your health? Are you happy with your family, with your property? Are you happy with the friends or family, sexual intimacy? All of these things might come at a point, right? So safety is the next big aspect that they need to look into. This is huge, man. The absolute bottom. Yeah. Yeah. What does that do to a person that stays down there too long? You start to question yourself, your decisions that got you there, and everything.
ありゃ、屋根に穴開いてるじゃん。こりゃ痛むわけだ。
お腹すいた。
やめろよもう。なるべく考えないようにしてたのに。
どうかしと。
How many years has it been?
災害の後、生き残れなかった人のほとんどは餓死だって。
Oh.
家の中で死んでるってことは、ここに食べ物なんて残ってない。次、行こうか。
Oh. Fuck! An anime that actually hits on themes like this. Oof. Oof. I'm gonna ask a very real question. Very real question through this. Because end of life, especially in aspects like this, if you are a young therapist or a young, whatever, and you're trying to go ahead and like see what the world may entail in different avenues and stuff like that. But that's why hunger is scary, right? A lot of people never talk about the anxiety that comes from end of life that is not by self-choice, right? End of life that is determined by like either hunger or aspects like this has a lot of anxiety behind it, has a lot of moments of whatnot. Like you can talk about emotional highs, emotional lows, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna ask this of you guys. Are you guys like, and as a genuine question, have you ever thought about it? Have you, and not about like, danger to self, danger to others, but like, have you ever thought about how you wish to go? Like as an adult, as later on in your life, have you thought about what those plans mean? Have you thought about like, for example, safety plans even? Because this is bringing up a lot of interesting concepts. For example, if a major accident were to happen, do you have a meetup spot? Do you know where to meet your family at? In case cell phones don't work, in case technology doesn't work, do you have an opportunity to be able to go ahead and like have water, supplies, a little backpack in case something does go wrong? Do you have, and this isn't me like being a doomer Ed. This is just me bringing up concepts of like, personal growth, personal opportunities like this, and personal preparedness. So for example, do you have a life insurance? Do you have the ability to protect yourself? Like there's 101 different areas and questions that come through with this that is imperative, that is important for people to go in and talk about. Not prepared at all. I mean, a lot of people aren't. A lot of people aren't prepared. And that's a-okay. That's normal because a lot of people don't like, I hate to put it this way, a lot of people don't even take a glance at the psychological aspects of their own life. A lot of people are just in fight or flight mode 100% of the time because that's all that they can do, right? So a lot of people don't even have the opportunity to think about concepts like this or ponder about what they should do or even know what the next steps are. So when we're looking at something like this, I'm like, that's sweet, but it must also have hurt. Seeing your loved one, seeing your spouse, your children, whatever, start dying of hunger. My heart breaks, man. My heart fucking breaks.
お姉ちゃん、この家すごいよ。なんか全体的に豪華。
うん。金持ちでも住んでたんだな。
あ、ついに開けるの？缶詰。
食べるもん何も見つかんなかったかんね。あるくん、なんかお皿探してきて。よ
っしゃ。腹が鳴るぜ。 ねえ、この野菜っぽいの何？
そこら辺に生えてた草の食べられそうなやつ。
I
少しで
think
も
they're
腹
edible.
の足しになるかと思って。
あーもうなんか全体的に匂いが移っちゃってるよ。
ごめん。
貴重な缶詰だったんだろ。
ごめんって。
But do you eat everything? Like, oh my god, dude! This in terms of like just survival aspects, survival psychology. Let's be real. Would you be able? Would you be able to eat anything or everything? Do you know what is safe to eat? If you stumbled across a couple mushrooms, do you know which ones are safe to eat, which ones are not? Do you know what that means for yourself? Like, wow, 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 wow. And even through this, like, they're oh man, I'm so excited. This show's bringing up a lot of different elements of actual discussions for this. What happened though, dude?
それ、お姉ちゃんの恋人？
起きてたのか。
俺寝つきが悪いんだよ。いつもお姉ちゃんの方が先に寝るよ。
あ、そうだったのか。ボディーガード失格だ。
別に俺一人でも大丈夫だから。帰ってもいいよ。
I live below sea level too. A worst case scenario has crossed my mind. Never had to consider food or water shortages though. Oh well, there you go. You see, also welcome on in Speedball. Appreciate you being here. I mean, it's just aspects to think about as well because you never know, man. You like all never really know whenever something might happen.
これは親友とちょっと会いたい人なんだけど、君を目的地まで連れてくついでに探せたら一石二鳥だと思ってんの。だから君といるのは有意義だよ。ま、僕は寝てる間にどっか行ったりしないから安心して寝ろ。
That a bird? That's a fucking giant ass bird. Holy shit. All right, hold on, guys. I gotta get myself some more fucking punch here. Dude, that ain't a bird. That's a boar, dude. That's like with the fucking O. Holy shit, dude. Okay, did humanity get picked off by giant fucking that's a burb. Quetzalcoatl. No, 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 no. No sa Kukulkan, way, no. Don't fucking terrify me like that. That's a wow. Wow. Let me be open. Let me be honest about this. Most people would be able to recognize some of the ingredients that they eat every day in the wild. Let's talk about this. If this is a giant ass bird like this, what does that mean? What does that mean? Or like, can humanity survive giant fucking insects and giant birds and like giant spiders and shit like that? Oof. Oof.
Sa
もういい加減情報が足りないよね。俺ら当てもなくさまよいすぎ。
じゃあ人探そう人。人のいそうな方に行こう。
It doesn't look like there's a lot of
まとまって住んでるとすりゃ
survivors,
土地のあるところか。駅の近くかな。
そんなとこだろうね。とりあえずこう線路に沿って歩こ
う。そうだ。俺新しい靴欲しい。
はいはい。みちみち探そうね。
あとなんか美味しいもの食べたい。
君ね、まだ昨日のこと根に持ってんの？
え？ああ、いや、そんなつもりで言ったんじゃなくて。
君という男は悪気があってのことでもない人の失敗をそうやって。
おい
してた甲斐があった女二人だ。
俺は男だ。
なんだオスのガキか。
僕も男だぞ。
つき
It might be. Who? It might be. But do they have the time to think about it? In case you guys are wondering, what do you mean by it might be? They might identify as a guy. He he might actually be a guy. And if that's the case, more power to him, especially in a post-apocalyptic setting like that. But through that comes my next question: is how would it feel, especially if you identify as a guy, to have society around you, wherever you go, identify you as otherwise? What would that do to you? What does that do to you in an environment like this? Let's take the other side as well. Are these people in a space mentally and psychologically to be able to process that people are, and this show in a big way is relating two interesting aspects, right? Which are the commodities, which are the commodities of life currently, right? For example, at this point in time in a society, we are able to think about if they would have, well, that's exactly it, Nick Mir. That's exactly what I'm getting at, which is I feel like a lot of people might be like, oh yeah, well, they people should be able to go ahead and act on it. They're in a fight or flight situation. They're probably down here as well. They have friendships, but are they actually in self-actualizing and being able to go ahead and think about and respect other people's boundaries and issues like this when they're struggling down here? If people are struggling down here, they're not going to be able to go ahead and think about, a person's whether or not they identify as male or female, what their pronouns may be, so on and so forth, because that's all the way at the top of the pyramid for them. They're struggling with everyday life. A lot of people are. And even vice versa. What does that do to a person psychologically if you're being literally misgendered? What does that do to you? Over time, anxiety, stress, depression, we're talking about instances where individuals will probably start hating themselves in that aspect, right? I work with a lot of people, a lot of kids, a part of the LGBTQ community, in which they because society frames them a certain way, because there's a lot of parental family expectations, and trust me, there's still a lot of stigma around it. They feel really, really pressured. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of moments of everything that comes through with it. And it can be rough. It can be so hard on a person's mental state because they, it might be physical attributes, might be something else. But in this world, are they in that position to be able to think about this critically? This is a double-edged sword. And this is one of those huge aspects where, psychologically speaking, it's hitting a point. Are people able to think about this legitimately? Probably not. And mold themselves to fit someone else's needs? Probably not, because they're in a fight or flight state, right? Is that good for your mental health? Probably not. That's probably a very tough environment and would probably not make you feel like your body is yours, type of thing. And that's rough, man. Even though it costs absolutely nothing. Oh, you should respect people. Absolutely. If you have the ability to. But Dude Man, that's one of the big people can't be bothered to process that now. Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the big things here is, in this world, do people have the energy and the ability to process that? No. Because of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we're looking at that. Immediately we're seeing they're nowhere near the top of the pyramid. They're below. They're down low. But in today's society, we have the ability to go ahead and process what we need to process. And, we should have most areas met to be able to at least respect others. And yet it's still a struggle for a lot of people. Oof. Oof. Oof.
よし、荷物置いておとなしく座れ。天国に連れてってやるからよ。
せっかく人に会ったかと思えば、ろくなのがいない。
やめときなよ、弾がもったいない。お前ら死にたくなかったらどっか行け。
俺たちの命は弾以下だってよ。 こいつら物心ついた時には世界が終わってた無法世代ってやつだな。
There's no bullets in
マジ
there.
で何するか分かんない。行こうぜ。
どうせ当たんねえと思うけどな。バカ。
ちょっと待て、あれ本当に銃か？あれあれ、急に引っ込めたぞ。見たことねえへんてこな銃だと思ったわ。おもちゃか何かではったりかましてんな。
Oh shit.
逃げるぞ。
逃がすか。バカにしやがって。
Ooh. Ooh. Good kick. Is that a gun? That's a fucking death beam. Is that a gun? That's a. He has a fucking like Metal Gear Solid fucking ray on in his fucking hands right now. What the fuck is? No, that's a fucking ray gun, dude. That's like baby Metal Gear in their fucking hands. Like. Look at the size, bruh. I'm firing my laser like holy shit, dude.
なんか
よう、天国に連れてってくれるとか言ってたよな。
あれはその。
探してたんだ、天国。案内してよ。
You're looking for heaven.
へえ、ご大層なところに住んでるね。どう、マル？何かピンとくることは？
うん。何にもない。
だろうね。
See, interesting. Nah, it's a gun. It's really, really fast, but trust me, guys, it's a gun. The entire thing, this post-apocalyptic setting, is a lie. When we're looking at this, though, what I actually find genius about this group in particular, the ones that tried to rob them, they were at a hospital and they had medicine. Why is that important? Diseases, especially getting all the penicillin you can, getting all of these really, really important meds that can go out like that. Like imagine having an insanely high fever and having no meds for it, or getting an infection and having no meds for it. Really, really smart strategical movement of them to like set up base camp there. Of course, it might be their endfall, right? Because at the end of the day, you should keep moving, but oof. And also, wouldn't this be terrifying as anybody? I mean, the meds can last to like up to a number of like depends on what the meds are because they all have expiration dates and stuff or less effectivity rates, right? A lot of people don't know this, but after a while, meds when it says expired by, usually for some meds, it's like their maximum efficiency rate starts dwindling after that. That is what they mean by that, right? When it comes to this in particular, though, would be extremely valuable. And something that comes up to me is. Yes, exactly, Mickey. Exactly. Something that comes up to me in this setting is if you were alone. I'm gonna be straight up. This is trigger warning. Trigger warning. I'm not gonna say it again. I will say it one last time. Trigger warning, ladies and gentlemen. If you're walking alone in this world, what does this mean? Ladies and gentlemen, I would be terrified. And I think this is one of the big aspects where I count myself lucky that I know martial arts, that I know how to defend myself, that I know aspects like this. But if you were a female or somebody that presents themselves as female, this world, this environment, terrifying. People are down here. People are down here. What does that mean? People are literally struggling to survive, and they're at the lowest of lows in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What does that mean, guys? What is one aspect that people need physiologically to try and stay like outside of a psyche break? Try and survive. It is in between water and sleep. People, yeah, we were so, yeah. People, this is why I'm throwing this out there, because it is terrifying. It is terrifying. And this is why I'm saying, like, as a guy, as someone that's been able to go ahead and like learn martial arts, be able to defend myself, learn different styles, be so on and so forth. I would be terrified to be alone walking around as a female or someone that presented as female in this world. Even water could get you killed in this world. Water could get you, food can get you killed in this world. So on and so forth. Oh, you have a nice place to go take a dump could get you killed in this world. Also, literally, what the ambushers there were exactly, Dunrat. That's why I'm throwing this out there is if people are like, wait a minute, so what do you mean by that? I mean, like, this is stuff that people will fight to have. Otherwise, a person's psyche starts dropping, their psychological well-being starts deteriorating, so on and so forth. Like, this is rough stuff, dude. Like, this isn't just something that you'll automatically get up and keep going by. Whoa. All right, we're back. Guys, how are you guys feeling? You can go in 2 hours late and he'll still be on the first half still. True. I'm substituting my psychological need of sleep for Edge stream. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Speedball. You're doing great. It is really fucking good. It is deep. It's way deeper than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But this is hitting on so many aspects. Like, even when it comes to, like, conditioning, right? Powers of being. How we... it's feeling good. We are watching Heavenly Delusion, and it is really fucking good. Like, I'm an hour in, and we're 9 minutes in, if that's saying anything. Like, that's some pretty good shit. Kind of like Slime and... Well, a lot of people were like... Because a lot of people have asked this, Cad, when you're like, sex is a basic need? It is. It is. According to Maslow, I'm throwing this out there just to re-emphasize this. You see how there's sexual intimacy up here? There's a difference between being intimate, being sexually intimate with someone, and the aspect of sex, right? And sex can be self-sex as well, otherwise known as masturbation. Like, there is a huge difference in that, right? I like throwing this out there. I like being open to talking about it because a lot of people, a lot of shows do not want to even touch this topic with anything. And that's a big aspect through that is sex isn't just, oh yeah, let's get it on, baby. It's like for sex, it can be, okay, you guys do what you got to do to get that primal animalistic instinct out, or, you know, masturbation if need be, or anything of that nature. Sexual intimacy, on the other hand, is that connection that you need, you know. Until the end of this stream, Kurogane, until the end of this stream. So that's exactly why I'm highlighting aspects like this, because it is important. It is huge. It is an element that in this show has made me think a lot more than like some other shows. That's all I gotta say. We're 9 minutes in, and this show has already taking me in through like a narrative and like a drive that like,
ここがゴールだったら奇跡だよ。発電機だよね。この電池充電できない？
なんでそんなことを知る？
まだ立場が分かってねえようだな、おっさん。あんたら人のことをそっと返り討ちにあったんだよ。命取られても文句言えないんだよ。この電池満タンにしてくれたら出てってやるから。頼むよ。あとダメ元で一応聞くけど、天国って場所に心当たりないかな。この際なんとか天国って名前でも、まるで天国って感じでもいいんだけど。
崩壊以来、天国みたいな場所なんてあの世にしかねえよ。
そんなこと分かってんだよ。だからハードル下げてんじゃん。
あんたら、トマト好きか？帰ってきた。
なんで？くれるの？
トマト好きにとっちゃ 天国と言えなくもない話なら聞いたことがある。
マルくん、トマト好き？
好き。
Whoa. The tomatoes first shown, right? Sort of this innocence, this pureness, this heaven-like feet. Whoa, wait a minute, dude. That's actually pretty awesome. The fact that they're using this fruit, right, to go ahead and come through. But what they don't know, or what a lot of, even for apples, what a lot of people don't seem to understand is sometimes there can be worms in that apple. Sometimes there can be worms and other little insects inside of a tomato. And if you don't eat it when it's ripe, when it's ready, yeah, when it's ready, what do you have left? And that's a major element that I'm bringing up, because it's
詳しく聞かせて。
a small amount, small
Alright.
traces.
あ、ありがとう。
何の電池なんだそれ。
この銃の。
じゃあずっと撃てないって制圧してたのか。
最後の一発も出るか怪しかったんだよ。
She's fucking like, hey. He was just like, hey, bro, can you charge this for me? Oh, that's so fucking good, dude. Batteries are fruits now. Oh, berries are fruits. He bamboozled him. Dude, that was a fucking 500 IQ play. I have my gun here and my weapon here. Can you charge this, though? You won't get shot if you charge it. Oh, fuck, dude. Is horribly disheartening when you've already eaten halfway through the batch. But Dunran, isn't that a big like metaphor for life in of itself, right? Like we never know what we're gonna find or what's gonna come up until we do it. We never know exactly what may be through everything until it's there, until we've experienced it and we've gone through it. Like that's why I'm like,
玉切れで。ねえ、マル。
バカ野郎、のたるじで無法せたるガキ、大人なめるな。
ああ、怖かった。
どうってことないでしょ、あんなおっさんたち。これ充電できたし、あと4発撃てると思うと心強い。
4発目は計算に入れない方がいい。出ないことの方が多いもん。
そんじゃ、トマト天国を目指すか。
トマト天国って。
ああいうテストのやり方はどうかと思うよ。何か不
ミミ姫はなんでテストがあるって。
Why do I get the feeling this I might be fucking wrong, that we're seeing two different time periods? Why do I get it's like a weird distinct feeling that like when we cross over to this scene, we're seeing like instances of either the future or the past and sort of what is. Like I am so invested in this. Why do I say this? The tonality, the colors that are being used, even the gradients that is being used in all of this. Like, look, let's talk about lighting. Lighting as a form of anything, right? The distinct lines, how clean everything is. We're going from one environment to another. Unless this is actually heaven, it feels like to me like this is an area of either the past and or the future. That's where I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but it looks like it's like dystopian. Either we evolve into this, or this is the past and we went into this. Or maybe I'm just fucking wrong and this is actually heaven. The duo outside of the outside, these are not. Is outside of the outside. I thought I read that wrong. The duo is outside of the outside. These are not. And that's true. These could just be underground in an enclosed facility and so on and so forth. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I don't know, man. For me, it's something that calls out to me. It looks a little interesting. Because, like, there's no pure whites here. And that's one of the main instances. Except her clothes. Do you want to go out to... Thanks so much for following Cross Staves. Dude, you're incredible. Thank you. Thank you. Nothing but love and support for you. Like, hell yeah. And notice that we go back into the theme of tomatoes. So tomato, tomato, tomato. it makes me wonder. Like personally, it makes me wonder. Like number one, the symbolism behind the tomatoes, and two, why did the author like specifically? What is it with tomatoes that our characters are so driven towards? I'm so, ooh.
ああいうテストのやり方はどうかと思うよ。何か不
紅姫はなんでテストがあるって分かったの？
わかんないよ。なんとなく予感がしただけ。ただ一つだけ確かなことがある。テストがあると分かっていたからといって問題が解けるとは限らない。
まあ今日の授業は終わったことだし運動しようぜ。
僕続き作りたいから。
じゃあアンズ。
お断り。君と競っても勝てるわけないんだから。
時雄。
時雄は僕と話があるの。
Hey yo。
そんじゃコナに相手してもらおうか。
Are they testing on these kids to have fucking superpowers? Oh no! 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 My dude just fucking jumped the whole floor here and caught the ball that he threw. Impossible for a normal fucking human to do, ladies and gentlemen. I can't fucking do that. The only thing I can do is cross realities and cross multiverses, but I can't fucking throw a ball and catch it at the same time. Like, like, also the other girl knew about a test. True. Like, look. The frequency at which you throw something at, right? In order for you to catch it, there's an equation for this. And I've seen it used before, and I'm just like, holy fuck, dude. I thought that was normal for humans. Mine do it all the time. No, you guys. Like, so he threw the ball. It's in the air. He has time to drop a whole floor. 2 floors, I guess, if you count the floor that he was in. So 1, 2, down to the ground floor, and book after it and catch it. His drawing ability, his artistic ability, is that his power? Like, and if these kids have power, now it makes me even, ooh. Now it makes me even wonder even more, specifically with this. If you're messing with genetics, genes, memes, whatever the fuck they're doing in here, or if they're trying to go and captivate what pure humans are through this genetic enhancement, I'm about to bring in some Metal Gear shit. What happens when you take it too far? What happens when things get corrupted? What happens when you fuck around and you find out? Remember, the more that you fuck around, the more that you are bound to find out. That's where I'm at with this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to call that the Ed theorem there. Memes, Jack, DNA of a soul, nanomachines. Like, this is, while it's cool, in a completely sterile environment, I don't think there could ever be a sterile environment. You could allow and harness the opportunity to shape a person's mind and allow yourself to do what needs to, like, shape a person's future to whatever you wish them to be. But, and here are my big nalgas for this, but what does it mean in an environment where corruption has already been interplayed into this? And by corruption, I don't mean like, oh, there's a corrupt individual. I mean, say that like the ideas of what innocence or purity is supposed to be instilled in here is taken out or is slowly being degraded. For every fuck around, there's an equal and opposite find out. Ooh.
さっきテスト中に外がどうとか言ってたよね。
ああ、いや、あれは。
時雄は外がどうなってると思う？
外？どうと言われても。
違う。この壁の外。
ここより外があるの？何もないんじゃないの？
あると思うよ。 僕はずっとそんな気がしてたんだけどね。最近だんだんイメージがはっきりしてきたの。僕が外に出たいなって思ってると、外
So she's psychic.
から二人の人が僕を助けに来てくれるの。その一人の顔が時代にそっくりなんだ。
This might have just fucking broken my mind for a second. Let me take this a step back. I had to literally like whenever I press my lips together, it's because like I'm really like in deep thought. She might have just broken my brain for a second. Hold on.
外がどうとか言ってたよね。
ああ、いや、あれは。
時代は外がどうなってると思う？
外？どうと言われても。
違う。この壁の外。
え？ここより外があるの？何もないんじゃないの？
あると思うよ。僕はずっとそんな気がしてたんだけどね。最近だんだんイメージがはっきりしてきたの。僕が外に出て
The birds, bro. They're it's like a mythology that he has like layered up in here, right? Like big giant birds, kind of angel looking things. An embryo with two people with wings. Like, whoa, dude. Whoa. This show will make you think a lot. I hope no one I hope not, dude. This is intriguing as fuck.
外に出たいなって思ってると、外から二人の人が僕を助けに来てくれるの。その一人の顔が時代にそっくりなんだ。
Exactly the same as yours.
部屋の外、学校の外、外の外。
時代くん、
園長先生。
眠れないならお薬を出そうか。
いえ、
Okay, there are humans. That's still sus though.
ここより外ってあるんですか？
それは時代くんが考えたの？
耳姫が。
あの子は勘の鋭いところがありますからね。
Nah, bro, I don't fucking you have a grandma in here? First option is, hey, you're not sleeping? Let me give you some drugs. Let me give you some medicine. Yeah, we're doing Tengoku, dude. Heavenly, wow. The big vultures.
いずれ知ってもらうことです。構いません。時代くん。ここより外はあります。
ねえ、マル。ボディーガードの僕がこんなこと言ったらびっくりしちゃうだろうけど。
もうお姉ちゃんの言うことにいちいち驚かないよ。
もう歩けない。だって野宿したり山越えたり限界だよ。こんなに資源も寝るとこもない場所が続くなんて。崩壊前は日本中徒歩5分圏内に何でも売ってる店があったって。あれは嘘なのか？
町と町の間はこんなもんだよ。都会で育ったんだね。
ああ、そうさ。こちとら江戸っ子よ。
ここより外はあります。
ねえ、マル。ボディーガードの僕がこんなこと言ったらびっくりしちゃうだろうけど。
もうお姉ちゃんの
The reason why I'm stopping and I'm rewinding this is
言うことにいちいち驚かないよ。
Notice the impact, right? I love that this show is in a way it like zooms in. This is the first episode, Kurugane. Yeah, this is the first, and it is like Plato's cave. Exactly, for the kiddos, exactly. Like they are only introduced to the world that is established there for them. which is insanely fucking like, you know, troublesome, right? Because you go out into the real world, what happens if the real world is scary and you're not prepared for it and everything. But in this one, the amount that it emphasizes their walking, the fact that this is a journey, the fact that there is a lot of weight in what they have to do, right? Like,
もう歩けない。だって野宿したり山越えたり限界だよ。こんなに資源も寝るとこもない場所が続くなんて。崩壊前は日本
wow, wow. If transportation were to go away, it's a concept of freedom, but the concept of overwhelming freedom at times can be draining in a situation like this where there is no other forms of transportation. Like, what does this mean? If you couldn't drive anywhere, transportation is down. What does that do to you? You can walk, sure. First time, great. But all of a sudden, guess what? Going to your local store might be a lot. We are all... And that's a major aspect why I'm bringing this up. Like, it must be fucking exhausting being in this world. You literally, and this is another aspect, right? You are probably always fucking hungry. I'm not gonna lie to you. In this world, in the outside, you must probably always be hungry. because you have to walk everywhere to try and survive, right? If you wanted to go ahead and like go find heaven or whatever, in my area, I'm gonna be realistic. The closest city to me is like 300 miles away. Actually, no, 180 miles away, roughly. Like the closest biggest city is 180 miles away. What does that say, guys? Am I gonna walk 180 miles in the desert? Escapist fantasy, you ironically. Yeah, in a metaphysical. However, I mean, that's if I wanted to stay within my country. If I wanted to go otherwise, it'd be like 15 miles, which ain't that bad. But even the smallest things we take for granted, bicycling, driving a car, so on and so forth, and the impact that has on us. And that's why I'm like, it's huge, man. And it's true. But the amount of like fights that would happen in major cities for food and for whatnot, I would be terrified to live in there as well. I would be, yeah, wow. Wow, wow, wow.
県内に何でも売ってる店があったって。あれは嘘なのか。
町と町の間はこんなもんだよ。都会で育ったんだね。
ああ、そうさ。こちとら江戸っ子よ。いって。
せめて寝れそうなところ探そう。
なんでそんな体力あんの？若いから？
大して年変わんないでしょ。
Basically the same age.
多分。お姉ちゃんは？
僕は18、いや20かな。
20。
なんで2年も開きがあるの？
算数苦手なんだよ。嘘だろ。営業してんのこれ。
やってるよ。9、10、11、12。はい、確かに。
本当にそれでいいの？安すぎない？なんか悪いから。
Oh, dude, great. She's so fucking pure. She's so pure. Oh god, dude. But my thing is, all this like, because I'm referencing this and like all of these places must be a safe heaven, right? You must get here and imagine you would probably sleep and whatnot. But if you've ever known someone with PTSD or like post-traumatic stress in any way, shape, or form, what do the calm places do? They allow our innermost trauma to come up. I'm assuming that they have encountered a lot of trauma, and it's in the quiet moments. When we're in public, it might be all smiles and ha 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 laughing and whatnot. It's the quiet moments where we have to be careful. And that's where everything comes in for me. The scars that we wear from walking around, the like literal scars of the conversations and stuff that have happened. The pain, if it's not been healed, comes out. Shelters like this must be absolutely beautiful. Wait a second, they're charging money in a post-apocalyptic world. Hey, Tom caught it capitalism, baby. I'm sure that they use it for a frame of reference or a frame of like economical value to barter or whatnot. But through that, like, this is why I'm bringing this up. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, what does this mean for me? If I was post-apocalyptic world, I would probably, and if there was a little bit of alcohol left, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would probably be trying to like drink a little bit in a safe zone and like feel what I need to feel and then go to bed. Oh, that is Daggerina. Also, hello, thanks so much for the follow, Destructor. Appreciate you being here. Welcome to heaven. Lead illusion. But that's why I'm like, for you guys, what would that do? What would a safe space do for you? Yeah, it's been a while, Dagger. How you doing? That's why I like the animes like this are so fucking important to talk about. Shows that represent different qualities of life and aspects. We can take silly ones and go into like different environments, but like that show sort of what survival can look like, what deep human connection is important, and even how we identify ourselves in the story at large, in ourselves, in a world like this. This is wow, dude. Wow.
これどうぞ。
え、いいの？炭酸電池。ありがとう。
Hi, Taro. How you doing?
この宿帳見てもいいですか？
いいよ。こんな状態のいい電池がね、あるところにはあるんだね。
いないか。こういう人来たことないですかね。
あら、いい男。
He's good looking.
名前は？
稲崎ロビン。
わからんな。もう一人のパンクなおじさんは？
名前はわかんない。みんな医者とか先生って呼んでたからな。
それじゃあね。
あ。
Did this guy hurt you? You're making it out to seem as though you're looking for them for good reasons, but have you been hurt? He looks like we carry memories. For example, imagine if I carried Rem and I'm like, have you seen her? Have you seen her? Okay, you haven't seen her. All right. Have you seen her? Have you either I'm looking for Ram, my bad. I'm looking for Ram because something really, really good, family member, whatever, or something really fucking bad, right? To try and get revenge or something. This is why I'm throwing it out there. Is I'm looking at this, and at first it came off as that like instinct of, oh yeah, they're looking for it because you're really, really important to them. But then it came, wait, what is important? What does it mean to actually be like going after these people? Are they people that did good or bad to you? And this is not, that literally just, this is not being touched on at all.
あと、天国って場所で何か思い当たることないですか？
ま、みんなここで言うけどね。
Let me back it up. Hold on, because I'm assuming there's gonna be more. Hold on. So, can your mental health be better if you're in an environment that doesn't let you look into yourself? No. Like, you are always in fight or flight. So let me be honest by this, Mickey. If you are always in fight or flight, like in terms of, you are going to be happy in that state. There might be days where you literally like are thriving and whatnot. But let's say that those days come to a close. Let's say that for whatever reason, everything's resolved. Society starts bettering itself. What does that do to you? What does that do to you? And this is why I hate if a therapist just automatically tries to jump you up. Like if a therapist is like, you know what, we're not even going to focus on your hierarchy of needs. If a therapist is like, oh, you know what, why don't we take a look into how you're telling your own story, and you're like down here breaking. We have to look at where you're at and work from the bottom on up. Say that you're down here, right? Say that suddenly being in a safe, say that you're down here and all of a sudden everything gets resolved. The pressure of all of this is going to cause generational trauma. Why? because it might take a generation to start going ahead and start establishing these other aspects up here, because all the weight of the problems and the weight of everything starts popping back up, and it can be drowning. It can be absolutely horrible for individuals out there, and it can be too much. Like literally, some people I know who couldn't deal with depression just take enough work on themselves so that they don't have time to think about it. Yeah, but what happens when they're older, Mickey? What happens when they're older and all of a sudden they can't do that work? You know, this is why you get people in the later years like reflecting back and being like, "What the fuck happened?" That's running. That's a defense mechanism. That is literally running away from your issues. And if you don't deal with it, it will catch up at some point. And that's one of the major things that comes out from this. All right, guys, give me un segundo. I'm just gonna run and let one of my doggos out. Loki wants to go out. I'm not gonna go into the be right back screen. I'm just gonna run and do it. Hold on, I'll be right back. Loki. All right, and I'm back. Sorry. Get in the robot. This year just keeps getting worse and worse. My doggo wanted to be let out. It was like, all right, time for me to go. I'm not sure if I would say that it was intentional, but I was studying engineer. I felt like I was too busy to think about my problems, and it happens, dude. It really, really does happen. And this is why, like, for me, it's important to highlight elements like this and be able to go and talk about it. Here's the thing: if we let's talk about this. If you don't use it, if you don't talk about it, what are you doing? Like, let's say that you have all this pent up emotions, pent up everything, like all this trauma, depression, whatnot. What are you doing? And this is why I'm throwing this out there. What defense mechanism are you using? If you have all of this trauma, all this depression, all this anxiety, and you're like, nope, 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 I'm just gonna work through it. I'm gonna use my work as an excuse. What are we doing? You're sublimating it. You're satisfying an impulse, an emotion, a feeling with the substitute object, i.e., work. You are literally trying to use work as a way to go ahead and substitute that for that emotion. But is that healthy? No. You're repressing, yeah? You might be repressing aspects like that, right? To keep it from disturbing you. You might be in denial from yourself because you're like, nope, 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 nope. Too much to handle. I'm not going to experience it. This is why it's important to talk about it. This is why it's important to be open about it, because a lot of people, like some psychology classes do touch on it, but they don't go in depth as they should, or they're not open about like how this is applied to real life or how people use it, which is why anime is such a good medium to be able to showcase, like, look at this, look at the way that this is being used, look at why.
わかんない。みんな医者とか先生って呼んでたからな。
それじゃあね。
あと天国って場所で何か思い当たることないですか？
ま、みんなここで言うけどね。天国だ
Oh, I keep forgetting. Hold on. I gotta put this fuck, do you guys have an all black overlay? Hold on. Chat mods, send me an all black overlay, please. Oh, is it quickly over with? If it is, then you know what? I'll just do this.
わからんな。
You guys can still hear it.
もう一人のパンクなおじさんは？
名前はわかんない。何か思い当たることないです。
Okay, we're at the changing scene. She's changing. Ooh, all of these scars, man. Hold on. Her kissing a reflection of her mirror. She has a lot of scars, or he has a lot of scars all over his body. Is he attracted to the body that he's in? Is he attracted to the body that he's in? He identifies as he. At least he said so whenever he was fighting the bandits. Didn't say, I'm a city girl. Oh, true, earlier. Needs to find some twin. But that's an aspect that I'm like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what does this mean? Everyone has superpowers in the heaven. Do these superpowers include people on the outside or no? Because if they do, then are other kids or other people, do they have superpowers or not? Sorry, my mind's gonna go fucking wild. My mind's gonna go a little wild. Sorry, I'll let it play out. My mind's like, do other people have powers or not?
シャワー出ないから湯船のお湯オケで使ってね。それからボトルたくさんあるけど適当に使って。いい感じに泡が出るやつがシャンプーね。
There's a fuck ton of bottles. Holy shit. Holy shit. All right, we're back. We're back, boys. We're back. There we go.
でほとんどできないから日のあるうちに使ってね。
はーい。おかみさん、あのケースってもしかして銃ですか？
ああ、この辺には怪物が出るからね。夜は出歩いちゃダメだよ。
怪物って
ヒルコ、
人食いのことですか？人によって呼び方はまちまちなんですが、こう大きくてぐちゃぐちゃっとした形で人を食べるやつ。僕らそれ殺せますよ。
あんな銃も効かないのに。
やれま。
Bro. Mama was about to make pozole the original way to make pozole. Holy fuck, dude. Mama was about to go out there and do the Aztec way and Mayan way of cooking. Oh no, dude. I was a little terrified. I'm not gonna lie. Some people answer in like, that's why I'm like, holy shit, dude. Whoa. I can't even answer. Damn, this looks creepy. But it's also like, how did these, there's a lot of questions, of course. Don't answer. Please don't spoil. Where I'm like, did these things come into being as like things that existed in this world, or was it like created? That's where my mind comes through, right? Guns don't work.
キル光線？
何さ？
キル光線。キルコの光線だからキル光線。
何べんも確認すんな。変なこと言ったかと思うだろ。
変だから確認したんだよ。
Mom?
イノシシか何かの肉と野菜の煮たものでよかったら。
So there's more at play than she really wants to go. She let that pot boil over, bro. She literally walked away from it. The pot is stewing, and for her, the immediate call out turned her from wherever she was to an aggressive, more aggressive state, man. Like even through this, I'm oh no, 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 no.
いいんですか、ご飯。おいしい。あなたたちを食事に誘ったのは言いにくいことなんだけど、こんな状況の中で育ったのに今もきちんとお箸が使えててちゃんと教育を受けている子たちだと思うから、おせっかいかもしれないけれど言わせてもらうわね。
Oh fuck。
近親者同士で子供を作るというのは決まりとか気持ちの問題じゃなくて、遺伝子的な根本的な
You hear that? To all the Oshinoko people, there you go. You heard it here in Heavenly Delusion first. I'm fucking dying. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh. Oh, it's fine if you say no, Chroma. Oh, bro. Okay, let me back it up just a little bit. Oh.
近親者同士で子供を作るというのは決まりとか気持ちの問題じゃなくて、遺伝子的な根本的なところに危険があるの。
何の話をしてますか？この子がお姉ちゃんって呼ぶから勘違いさせたかもしれませんけど、ここ血繋がってないんで、それにそもそもそういう関係ではございません。え？やだ、おばちゃん早とちで勘弁してくださいよ。僕は東京で何でも屋というか便利屋みたいなことをやってて、この子の旅のボディーガード依頼を受けたんです。警護対象以上の感情はありませんから。
Oh, dude. Way to literally hurt someone, bro. When you speak out like that, oof, oof. Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there, right? Number one way to make a villain out of someone is you like, because this is something that you can talk about beforehand and whatnot, just to establish whenever weird scenarios like this pop up. I remember, I think there was like this group of like young college students. They were out and abroad doing a study abroad and whatnot. These two were like, you could tell that there's a bit of flirting and whatnot going on. I was eating with my partner during that time. We were at a really like nice restaurant, and the waiter comes over and is like, "Oh yeah, for you and your significant other or whatever." I feel like my man went into like a full-on villain story. Like he went full-on villain mode because she was like, "Oh no, that's not my partner. Oh no, we're just childhood friends. We've known each other since forever." Right? And like, she asked him, and like you could see the look in his face just like fade, bro. It was like being really into it to just like a shell of something. And like my dude was just like, I got a text, hey, I'll pay for dinner, I gotta go. And I was like, oh, dude, like I felt it. I was like, oh, pain Pecco, dude, straight up. Oh, childhood friends never win. Yeah, man, yeah. It was rough. It was rough to see.
どうしたの、マル？なんか急に元気ないね。なんでそんな布団離すの？
We're not close or anything. You said it.
なんか怒ってんの？なんだよ。今日はえらく寝つきいいじゃん。さてと、僕も寝るかな。あれ。疲れてるせいかな。なんか。
Ah, shit. Did she put something in your... Oh. She wasn't eating. She didn't eat. Mama didn't eat anything. Mama didn't eat anything. Mama gave you food. Mama was there for you. Mama gave you all that food, but Mama didn't eat. They're out in the field tied up. Oh no. Bruh. Bruh.
ここより外はあります。ただし、浅ましい怪物がうごめく汚れた世界。地獄です。
But it has eyes. It has human-looking eyes. Is heaven heaven, though? Is heaven heaven, though? At least in the... Oh, this is such an interesting conversation. Is heaven heaven if you're not allowed to grow? Is heaven tomato? Tomatoes are heaven. But, like, my question for you is, does heaven exist? I mean, good question. Like, I mean, I think that's an individual question for everyone. And in a situation like this, even if they call themselves, like, that area heaven specifically, right? Is it actually a heaven? Or is it a haven? Note the difference between a heaven and a haven for experiments. And that's where my mind goes, because they're keeping these people away from the hell, or away from whatever hell may actually be. Exactly, Masters, exactly. That's why I'm like, this is touching on themes, on so many fucking themes. Like, I'm blown away. I'm just blown away. Oh, this is just a title song. Oh, fuck, dude. Fuck. Well, we'll listen to the song in a bit. Let me get my finishing thoughts here. For an episode 1, what a good introduction to what, like, the two literally, like, worlds that we're seeing, right? What heaven can look like and represent, what hell can look like and represent. Who can you trust in heaven and who can you trust in hell? And is there such a thing? Would you rather be one and the other, or someplace in the middle? Because that's phenomenal show, phenomenal first episode. I'm really excited to go and continue. I know that this must have been like close to 2 hours or something by the time it reaches YouTube. But, like, man, guys, come and join us. We tend to do this every so often. I'm not going to say Friday or Sunday because those are Arcane and Bunny. Arcane and Moshiko Tensei / 100 days, usually. Although that might change depending. But usually throughout the week, we tend to stream. So if you guys want to come and join us, feel free to come and join us. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys thought. And we're just going to listen to the ending. We're going to listen to this bop, dude. Like... Oh, hold on. Bro, I feel like I'm on a journey with this song. Holy shit. The drummer on this is Ooh. The drummer is insane in this. Like, everyone's insane on this, but like literally just like the modulation in this is insane, man. Like, like my dude is just going fucking ham, dude. Like my dude's full on like it's a jammy song. It is a jammy song. Wow, I did not think episode 1 was gonna be like this, man. I didn't think episode 1 was gonna carry this much fucking weight and shit to it. But the fact that it does, and the fact that there's so much juiciness into it, amazing shit. Amazing stuff, dude. Like legitimately, really, 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 really fucking good stuff. Whew.